Today with us we have Mr. Yogesh Umbarkar, who has 20 plus years of experience in engineering and software.
I was working with L&T also as a project engineer, so I used to get the better earning as well. My father has been a great inspiration still now for me. While I was working with Cummins, I was solving one of the engine related problem. So one of the return on investment is then happening on the connected is through that data monetization.
How do you see how sustainable is EV specifically, and is India ready for EV?
The battery electric for a car, it is pollution free, and with power is still a fossil fuel. Probably the Toyota Mirai, which is a hydrogen fuel cell car. That itself is becoming one of the successful example of the battery as a service. Traffic signal points, they have put this VAC, which is vehicle active control. So this wheel of life is having where there are 5-6 spokes. Okay, one is your career spoke, income and finance. This is a wheel of the life.
So welcome to another chapter of Built on Brains. Today with us we have Mr. Yogesh Umbarkar, who has 20 plus years of experience in engineering and software. He has also worked with a lot of companies like Cummins, L&T, and now he is working with Valtech. He is a mechanical engineer. He has done masters in mechanical engineering. He has also done MBA, and he's VP. He's working as a VP in Valtech. So I welcome you, Yogesh, and I hope your learning journey will be a lot of inspiration to the audience. So thank you for accepting my invitation and coming on this podcast.
Thank you so much. This is my first podcast, so I'm really happy, and obviously I've been doing a lot of talks across from so many years, but yeah, being a podcast is the first, and I'm excited as well.
Can you share your personal journey, how you started your education, your engineering?
I started my first journey at the age of 16 and a half, let's say.
So early?
Yeah, diploma, 2 years, job hands-on. And that particular job has really made I would say, the working in a team environment, working on a very, I would say, complex environment. You need to work on the mechanical system, you need to work on a thermal system, you need to work on a programmable logical controls, PLCs and so on. And you need to ensure that you handle the complete shift production, give the maximum production tonnage, and without compromising on the quality and so on. So I was fortunate during that particular 2-year period as well, where I was the first one fresh engineer after 6 months who was leading the complete one production line. If the main engineer, if absent, they used to appoint me to lead that complete 14 people team and to lead the production of that particular shift overall.
Great.
So that has really helped me to thrive, learn and perform. So that's where I'm fortunate that I got hands-on quickly, and I have been able to cherish that journey actually. Although I've done my degree, masters, I've done executive MBA while on the go. I've done Harvard as well overall, but the most journey during the diploma, that real world experience, production line, and that post diploma, that 2 years experience working with the team, handling the production, working in a shift. That was really the fascinating, and I cherish those days still.
So really great, I can say, because I started my first job at the age of 23-24 when I passed out from my engineering. Starting at 16 and getting that kind of attitude, how it has benefited, because I see 3 to 4 years of difference in industry can make a lot of changes actually. So how do you see yourself, or if you have any peers who went through similar education but had little different way of jobs?
2-3 things. The way I say that, the sooner you get into the water, right, but the moment you quickly get into the water, quickly get exposed to solve that problem, right? You've been pushed, boss, you need to drive the production line now, and you need to get me the maximum production without any breakdown issues or any maintenance issues, and the quality of the production, right? Career I would say aspiration also strong then, because you've lived the life where you now know whatever it comes, I'll be able to drive it and face it and go through that challenges, whatever it comes.
So what was the driving factor behind this? What was motivating you to be so consistent in your education, learn and keep on learning?
I would say that for this, the whole credit goes to my father, because I've seen his journey. Because of that journey, he's still able to come from Pune to Mumbai. His journey still at the age of 86, he does it himself.
With this, you also did MBA. You started after your MTech, you joined Cummins and then L&T, right? And thereafter, you started working as a VP in Ricardo. So, was it due to MBA, or how you shifted from core engineering to direct management? So, how was your change and shift happened?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting story as well. So, what happens is while I was working with Cummins, I was solving one of the engine related problem, and during that time, that particular engine was from the UK, Cummins UK, and then the project has come saying that okay, there is a certain failure of particular component, and then I was working on that component failure investigation, why the failure is happening, and analyzing it through the certain software overall, and that particular software, the simulation or engineering tool was from Ricardo. And we were doing in Cummins, we were doing certain trial. I was working with the US technical corporate advisor, and he is also another inspiration journey for me. But while I was working with him, we were doing certain trial and error, and then suddenly I got the Cummins project sponsor, UK engineer, said that Yogesh, I think we have got a solution, you can stop this project. And then I was wondering, boss, I've been working for this 2, 3, 4 weeks now, doing so many of the design iterations, trying to understand what is the problem, and now you are saying the problem is solved. Who did that and how it happened? And then he said, oh, we consulted Ricardo in the UK, and then I said, okay, can I have their report, how they've been able to do it so fast overall. And then I come across the Ricardo, that is the first time. Then I said, okay, there is a particular simulation software which was used by them while we were using our in-house tools, and then that's where that particular simulation software helped them to simulate it more accurately and identify where is the issue. And then I kind of tried to convince the US corporate advisor, saying that, oh, why don't we also use a similar tool, because it will save good amount of things. So it's not about then my ability, it's more the tool limitations or software limitations. And then he said, yeah, then why don't you evaluate that yourself? And that's where then I connected. During that time, the first time, the Ricardo was represented by a local company, CAE Pro. But again, that particular company was started and managed by another British guy, John Roebuck. He is really one of the, I would say, inspirational figure in terms of the management, the leadership, and the business. So having technical and the business mindset, the best of both worlds is what I've learned from the John Roebuck. I must say that in my language is 0 degree to the technical support role to slowly moving to the heading the business side.
You were able to solve real-time problem that you are facing. I think that is also one of the fortune, I can say.
So I follow one of the principle. It says that fake it until you make it. Overall, it's quite different mechanical to electronics to the software. Right? So that fake it until you make it has helped me a lot. And I'm still, but that principle, one of the key thing is make it. You need to make it, right? You need to make efforts to learn, to build, and whatever you faked it, to live up to that. A 4-5 year experienced guy, me, going into the Tata Motors, giving a training to the engineers, the R&D. So my whole of my life I'm dealing with the R&D engineers. Okay. The first thing is engineer. The moment you say sales, the engineer hate sales people. Typically, they downgrade sales. Go away. The one is you need to fake it. Yes, that I know this problem. I know this area. I am less experienced, but I have got that principles. I have done my homework in terms of going through those methodologies, processes, that software, and how to solve that particular problem. I have learned, and obviously during that time, I think my Cummins experience as a brand also helped, because then you worked with the engines with with Cummins, which is the engine leader in the world, right? So and then that to a technology center who was driving the advanced engine projects overall, right? So that is actually that has helped me to substantiate my fake part, to accept the people, break that inertia, boss, okay, this guy knows because he has worked there, and then I used to make it up to live up to that expectation as well, and slowly it helps you. You fake 20%, you don't fake like 180 degree totally, right? You fake 20-30%, and then you make yourself also to live up to that, and then you push next, and then you push. So that way you then cover up and drive yourself. It's a motivation for also there, right? You need to save your face also there, right? It drives you. Hey, as an engineer, you have said you will be able to solve this, and now you need to do it.
So good to understand this philosophy actually, and I hope people can learn it very correctly. So with this, what was your toughest challenges? Did you face more challenges during your engineering job, or it was during your management job? Which one was more challenging as per you?
Or I would say that the management, and particularly when you talk about a business management, where I've been mostly dealing with the business development part, right? Because now here, the first challenge, as I said, you need to ensure that you are dealing with the 15, 20, 25 years experience people who in the domain, right? Where you need to give them the confidence that I'm here to solve your problem. Correct. So and nothing from the very initially, I used to be very open and saying that, boss, I don't know, but we have certain things, and I have got certain things where I'll be able to at least understand your problem, and then we will work together to solve it. So it's kind of that openness has also given the other person some openness, rather than so then I kind of say that the main challenge was how to kind of break that ice with those research R&D experts, right? So that was one of the biggest challenge. As I said, they typically hate the sales guys overall. The other challenge would be then how to navigate quickly from one problem to another problem, because during my Ricardo time, I used to deal with so many different applications, right from the two-wheeler small 100cc engine to a marine engine which is probably bigger than this room overall, literally. Right? So morning I'm going to Bajaj, afternoon I'm going to Tata Motors, and the evening I'm going to Mahindra Trucks and Bus, for example, and then you need to switch your application mindset from two-wheeler to the four-wheeler to the commercial vehicle. So I would say that was another big challenge, but slowly if you're open and you're true to yourself and to your domain, and that make part in my language, I think it makes the life easier overall.
Right. So any learnings that you have experienced, any learnings that you have learned through your entire experience you want to share during your management career? It has been planned for last a decade, I guess, as of now.
Yeah.
So has it shaped your personality? Are you a different person right now?
I think very much, very much. I think so. I think that is really one of the learning where being very introvert, where not so talkative, and my career or my job role has helped me to be a person where today I am, right? Talking in front of you, giving a podcast as well, and I've been talking to across the globe to the multiple conferences. I've been presenting and chairing the good amount of sessions. Then I kind of say there are 2-3 things I look at when I'm dealing with the people. Is the empathy part. Try to put yourself in his shoes and say that okay, what is Sunit's problem today is? What is he going through? What is that his motivation, his challenges, right? If you understand that, then I am here to help with that, right? Overall. And then during that dealing part, then you could be the way I see that is, while dealing with you, I could approach as a strategical way. Oh, Sunit is kind of really a strategical customer for me because he has been doing this and tomorrow he is going to move in this and so on. So as one is a strategical angle. Second is a technical, like whatever your current problem is there, and I'm into a technical world or technology world. So technically how I can help you and solve it, that is one thing. And the third is tactical also sometimes, how you deal with the people, where because you may not be knowing what the problem he is facing, but you kind of are trying to make that technical alignment or let's say tactical alignment where he opens up by hook or crook, okay? And then you drive your business conversation, and that business is nothing but solving his problem. So I always say that sales is nothing. Actually selling the product is basically helping the customer with your product, process, service, whatever it is. But I am here to help you to improve on either time, cost, quality, whatever the fronts are overall. So that, so I think in a summary, I would say I've changed myself a lot from a more introvert guy to a more a very open extrovert, then thinking just self to thinking about others, and then thinking very short term to the thinking more strategical.
You were working with companies like Ricardo, now it is Valtech, which have bigger clients actually, and I hope you were able to crack those kind of clients. So what is the one quality that one should have to make sure that they can work with or crack these kind of clienteles?
The empathy towards the customer, because I mean, if you don't put yourself into his shoes, you won't be able to understand what is his motivation, problem, challenges. And as they say that if you understood the problem, is half the problem is solved, right?
Maybe, correct.
So then how you kind of open up, build that trust is where, and then that trust doesn't get built up if you don't have empathy. If you're just going with a mindset, boss, आज तो इस बकरे को काटना है, आज तो business इतना मेरा target है. If you go with that mindset, then you are not going to win.
Thank you for sharing this. I think so most of the people would learn, would be useful for them to deal with this kind of situations actually. So Yogesh, it was wonderful to know about your personal journey, and I have also observed on various platforms you are invited to deliver a lot of technical talks. So how do you cope up with this fast moving technology? So how you are able to manage the knowledge that has been so vastly and so quickly been upgraded? So I have seen you talking on various platforms and it's wonderful. So can you tell me more about your understanding of these technologies?
I was getting into the consulting kind of a company environment, right, where you are either with software tools or your processes, you are solving the customer problems, either or like right from the Euro 4 or BS4, how you can make that BS6 compliant engine, or how you can improve your fuel efficiency, how you can reduce your engine noise, right? Or and then coming from that engine to the transmission to the vehicle level. So that's how the automotive my journey has been in the core powertrain area. So when we say powertrain, it's engine plus transmission, and these are the core key complex components within the automotive vehicles, right? Now what has happened is, with the companies, with Ricardo being there as a consulting, well-known consulting companies, by default I have evolved. With being in a consulting, you need to be ahead of the where your customer journey is going to be, right? Because I need to map out, okay, today this customer is going to work on the ICE engine, petrol engine, diesel engine. Now tomorrow he is going to go on the CNG or flex fuel engine, and then he will ask me, oh, how do you help me to convert it into CNG or the flex fuel engine or hydrogen engine as well. So then I need to know, I need to invest my understanding, my knowledge, my expertise, how to do this, right? So you need to be ahead of the curve. Being in a consulting, so you need to be ahead of the customer challenges. Then moving my journey from engines, then obviously the trend in the automotive started with the PACE. So P is for personalized, A is for autonomous, C is for connected, and E is for electric. Okay. So I think in the powertrain side, and which you now see every day, everywhere, in the effort of the climate friendly solutions, or to achieve a net zero emissions, you are trying now. Most of the OEMs have been adopting the electric route, right? The electric which is a battery electric, which is rather than taking the power from the engine which runs on the fossil fuel, you'll have a battery which is not producing any pollution or any smoke, right, which comes from the tailpipe, right? So then my journey also started, then how you can help OEMs to build the battery electric kind of a power train. So instead of ICE engine, now you need to learn then the battery, you need to learn what motor around it. And so to your question, that how I've been able to cope up is because being into the environment where I need to help the customer, I need to be ahead on this. Yeah, I need to be ahead of those technologies curve overall. And I've been doing that, and then I would say in the similar context where I've moved from ICE to the battery, and now I'm moving also working with Valtech Mobility to shape up the more connected, personalized mobility solutions, which is another big trend which we see.
That's great. So it's very difficult to stay ahead of your clients, and specifically when the industry is moving so fast, it's commendable, I can say. So recently there are a lot of EVs coming into India, and there are a lot of upgrades happening. So how do you see how sustainable is EV specifically, and is India ready for EV or not?
Yeah, I would say that the electric trend is going to stay and is sustainable. While I say sustainable, it's depending on the application. So for example, now when you talk about the two-wheeler and three-wheeler application, so here the shift has already happened now, right? You will see so many two-wheeler on the road now. In fact, the three-wheeler, the number of three-wheelers sold of electric are higher than your ICE versions, right?
True.
What is driving here is a total cost of ownership, TCO we say. So the TCO, where you look at the upfront cost of buying that particular two-wheeler or three-wheeler, then the operational cost. So in the ICE world, it's a fuel cost of, let's say I'm going to use this vehicle for 10 years, then what is the cost of that fuel maintaining it or driving that my application daily, how much is that, and then the maintenance cost, right? These are the major three. So this is what I'm going to spend to own this vehicle and maintain it running for my application for a 10 years, right? So between that ICE and electric, the upfront cost for electric is still higher. Obviously, if you see now this particular year and probably in a year, the delta cost of or the cost parity or the price parity between the ICE and electric is going to substantially go down. So now slowly that with the battery pricing going down, it will come to the parity, and then you will be able to see the big shift happening. Okay. That's where then when you look at that 10-year ownership, total cost of ownership, you say that it makes sense because it is cheaper. To use electric vehicle, right? And then with now the even in the passenger vehicle, that particular delta is not quickly shifting, because normally in India we don't use four-wheeler to certain kilometers, right? But if you, I think the overall calculation says that if you are daily running it beyond 100 kilometers, okay, because then there's a lot of fuel cost, right? Overall, if you use ICE version, but then if you use electric version battery vehicle, then that total cost of ownership still moves positively on the even passenger car side. The only thing is the way on the sustainability angle, right? Your original question. For a four-wheeler and the further higher duty application, you are then putting a lot of load on your grid. Okay. Because you need a power, right? For a battery electric, you need a charging, and then so for the, I do see the hydrogen is the way forward and the most sustainable and the best from the overall ecosystem per se, because the battery still has a challenge in terms of the having lithium need to be mined, right? There are a lot of other materials, and then even further to that is you need to have a battery disposing, battery recycling need to be taken care, because now you can see that our electronic waste itself is creating so much problem to the ecosystem, right? Same thing, these batteries, when you're talking about so many millions of vehicles having so heavy batteries or such a material, which is, you cannot quickly manage that recycle, and the ecosystem will have certain impact. So I would say the hydrogen is the best way forward, and will be more sustainable.
So as you rightly mentioned, that there are a lot of problems with EV, and as supply of electricity is also not consistent everywhere. That's what we are also experiencing. So as you rightly mentioned, that there are it's good, but there are a lot of problems to be effectively implemented in India, because I have been to China, specifically in Shenzhen. 90% of the vehicles are EV, and they are so everyone has moved up so fast. I don't know how they have been able to discard their earlier vehicles and upgrade to what was the incentives. I'm still trying to figure out. But in India, I think so it would be take a little more time, and a lot of infrastructural challenges are also there. As you have mentioned, few of the challenges. So hydrogen, as you say that it is upcoming and it would be more fit for vehicles. So can you just elaborate more on hydrogen, what it is actually, because I'm also curious. If you could throw some light, it would be really great.
So hydrogen is there. The only thing is it is not in its pure form. It is always you find it hydrogen in the combined with other elements, so like water, right? H2O, right? You don't see the H2 directly in its single form. So with H2O, then now if you need to extract the hydrogen from the water, you need to put some energy. Okay, so you need to do the electrolysis process to separate the H2 and oxygen, right? Overall. So then that separation electrolysis process means you are putting some energy. Overall. So to generate hydrogen, you need a certain energy and certain cost. So right now, what is the challenge here is that electrolysis process. If you are putting again the energy which is generated from the fossil fuel. Right? Again, we are coming back to the same. So then it becomes then they say that it's a blue hydrogen. Overall. But whereas what already the thought process and the systems are getting ready, with India being trying to drive renewable energy with solar and wind as a mainstream slowly. So then it becomes, if you are using the renewable energy sources or renewable energy to drive that electrolysis process to generate a hydrogen, then it's called green hydrogen.
Okay.
Okay. So that green hydrogen is the most sustainable way. But then the scale at which it need to happen, it will take some time. So currently with the green hydrogen cost is around $4 to $5 currently.
Okay.
Okay. The moment that green hydrogen cost comes down to $2, I would say that complete shift would happen towards hydrogen. And then hydrogen is another which creates a zero NOx emissions. Okay. So there's no emissions when you burn that. Or on the NOx side particularly, which are the major thing on the other gasoline or your diesel fuels.
Because I have recently seen Transportation Minister Nitin Gadkari while owning a hydrogen car. That's the only car that I have seen as on date. So maybe he is promoting more upcoming hydrogen trend. Maybe I'm not sure, but that's what I've seen.
Yeah. So no, I think I would say that that's probably the Toyota Mirai, which is a hydrogen fuel cell car. But then there are a lot of in terms of the hydrogen technologies also, there is a fuel cell. And there is a hydrogen combustion engine as well. And I would say that for the Indian thought process, for the passenger or for most of the trucks, we will see that mostly there will be a hydrogen ICE engines, internal combustion engine, but which are running not on the diesel, which will be running on the hydrogen fuel. And we have been already saying that in fact there is our Reliance Mukesh Ambani, I think in one of his AGM, he has already rolled out his ambitious plan of 111, which is he will be able to deliver 1 kg of hydrogen at $1 in a 1 decade. So we see that by 2030 or much before, the way I am seeing the movement in the market, the news, I do see that ambitious plan of delivering the hydrogen in below $1 or at $1, if the moment it happens, I would say it will change the market equation to the hydrogen significantly overall. So there are a lot of efforts, not just the Reliance group, but then Adani's, L&T, Thermax, who have been now putting up a big hydrogen plants, because the hydrogen is not just, is one of the major ingredient or useful fuel, not just for automotive, even for our industrial applications. So I think the government is also trying to say that how you can mix up hydrogen also along with the natural gas to generate even your thermal energies or whatever wherever the heat is required, right? So you use certain hydrogen percentage also, which will make it more pollution friendly as well. So we are just not looking at the pollution from automotive, we are just also looking at pollution from the industrial applications as well. And that's where I do see that the scale and that price, the moment it comes, hydrogen will be the game across.
Let's see how quickly it happens, because it would be more greener vehicles, I can say.
Yes.
And
already we have seen now there is from Tata Motors, I think is recently there is a certain number of fleet has been already rolled out, truck also. Hydrogen. Hydrogen. And also obviously Reliance worked with Ashok Leyland to promote. I think in the last this year, in fact, this Bharat Mobility Expo, you will see almost all the commercial vehicle makers have showcased their hydrogen trucks. So already the hydrogen running or driving the trucks, the heavy duty application as well. Overall,
It's
all the
allowed, I can
technologies. So I think the technologies are there. It's just that price parity of the hydrogen fuel cost is yet to come with that scale. But it's already being hydrogen. The kind of investment is happening by most of the industrial players, which will bring up that scale actually, because industrial application needs for the fuel is also super heavy.
True.
And the moment they will probably help accelerate the hydrogen price parity overall, I would say.
That's interesting actually. I would really like to wait and see how quickly we adapted to hydrogen. So last time I saw you talking on ADAS and BAAS. So recently we are still on EV, and it was an interesting talk to hear from you about ADAS, how it is difficult also, and how we are coping up with that difficulty, adapting ADAS to the Indian scenario. Can you just elaborate more on that?
Yeah, I think as I said, in the trains which I said, right, the PAC, personalized, autonomous, connected and electric. So autonomous is one of the bigger train as well. Although when it comes to the autonomous, people, I mean, in the generic perception is, oh, how that car can be autonomous, and you know how the Indian scenarios are. There's no traffic rules, there's no infrastructure place. I think very typical example, everybody says that, okay, how that car is going to identify the moment your cow comes in, the dog comes in, or any on the main highways as well, right? So how they will be able to cope up or understand and navigate through this thing, because that's all I think in India, the way I see that is you beyond your normal driving skills, right? You need to have the psychological understanding of all the other two-wheeler guy, the rickshaw fellow guy, the bus guy, right, and tempo truck driver guy, because you just map out, this is how
expected.
This is how he is driving. That means now I need to be very cautious. Is beyond my driving skill is mapping out that psychology of the other vehicle basically is what more important, right? So how that kind of entitudiness would be adapted and developed by the autonomous systems, and that's where typically they have been talking about to get that autonomy level of 5, where you can just close your eyes and you can have a sleep while sitting in the car, where car will drive. That particular moment will take good amount of time. Yes. So level 4, level 5 is definitely a challenge, because it requires not just the technology part, but it also requires the whole ecosystem, the infrastructural challenges around it, and obviously the Indian scenarios are not quite going to be useful for achieving that. However, already we see that ADAS has been helping in a good way, because in ADAS what happens is you are kind of with the help of radar, cameras or lidar. I think 2-3 things are helping a lot in terms of where these systems are helping with the safety certain aspect, right? This system is helping on the traffic management overall. Okay, because then you are connecting V2X there. Okay, so vehicle to everything. So vehicle to your traffic light system, vehicle to the pedestrian, vehicle to the network, vehicle to multiple things, and that's where that V2X technology and the ADAS controller help you to ensure that how we can reduce your traffic congestion, how you can make it more safer journey, although it's emergency brake or keeping the lane, as long as the lanes markings are there, it will ensure that you are keeping in that lane. Or adaptive cruise control, where by default, even if you're on the cruise side, you're based on the upfront vehicle speed, it will try to maintain and manage it, right? So there are a lot of, I think one of the recent example which I have already seen running in Bangalore, So they have already at probably more than 50 traffic signal points, they have put up these VACs, which is vehicle actuated control. So that means what happens is they look at the density of the vehicle or the number of vehicle, and your traffic light adjusts its time in terms of doing, because they'll say, okay, for this particular direction there is a more traffic is coming, so it will stay green for more for that time, right, compared to the other. So that way it is already helping Bangalore, which is one of the most world's worst
for
traffic situation, right? So this is how these technologies are helping, I would say, to reduce your traffic congestion or to have a more safer journeys, very minimum to say. And there's already level 2 plus kind of technologies are already been adopted by even Indian
vehicles. Yes, level 2 vehicles are available now for sale. And I had an option to go for level 2, but I felt like somewhere there are no much markings also. We don't know where the lane markings and I don't know how vehicle will react in that case.
Yes. No, so that's, I mean, in that way, I think good amount of my friends have been now using good luxury vehicles, right, particularly here in India. But the problem with them is they need to turn off their autonomous control off, because otherwise their life becomes hell, because now we hear how quickly that system could get adapted, because you can see that now you have a
bumper to bumper traffic.
Bumper to bumper, or literally you will see the probably 5 to 10 centimeter gaps, right, most of the time at the signal or at the many of the traffic congested points, right? So then it will keep beeping, or it will start braking all the time, right? So you cannot, so that those ADAS systems are not then able to adjust to the Indian scenarios, because they have been designed for the European ones. So yeah, definitely I can imagine that without those kind of infrastructure readiness and also tuning the ADAS system for Indian scenarios, I don't think it will be a so smooth game beyond the level 2 plus. I would say the level 2 is good enough helping the customers. Beyond that, it will have a good amount of challenge. It will go very slow curve on the adapting the further autonomy levels.
Hope so. Infrastructure also copes up rapidly, so that we can have more freedom on driving or use autonomous vehicle very quickly. And now with EVs, you also have mentioned that there are different models that have been working out, which is making EV more effective. So you mentioned about BAS. So can you, what is BAS and how it is making, what are the different models, business models that are working around BAS?
Yeah, I think the most recent, so the most recent example here is the MG Windsor, in the car. I think on the two-wheeler it has been already been rolled out. I think Gogoro is the one of the best example where Gogoro in Taiwan have literally captured more than 90% of the market, where at every couple of kilometers you will see a swapping station. So let's say I think the key challenge in the BAS is why it's being used. I'll come to that point now, I guess, is the waiting period for a charging, or the charging time is a one challenge, right? Because here in the normal convention, you go to the petrol pump in 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes maximum, you'll have a full tank and you're ready to go for another 300-400 kilometers or 200 kilometers minimum, right? Depending on the how much is the vehicle and so on. So your charging time, right, or refueling time, that's one. Second is the cost of the battery. As I said earlier also, it's at least minimum 20, 30, 40% higher than your normal vehicle, right? So that extra delta. And the third thing is the life of the battery.
Right.
Okay, so depending on how you are using it, right, at what temperature, at how your sudden acceleration, sudden braking, so your operational behavior or your operating cycle of the battery can degrade your battery life significantly, right?
Okay.
So normally you use phone also, you know, when you buy a new phone, probably let's say it goes for a 10 hour with one charge, but then after a 6 month, 1 year, you will see with the full charge, it goes only for 6, 7, 8 hours maximum, depending again on your usage, right?
Correct.
So that the life has degraded of the battery there, right? So same thing in automotive also, the life degrades, and then there is a challenge that you don't know when it will stop giving me the performance, right? Then I have to replace the battery, and the battery cost is almost 40% of your total vehicle cost.
True.
Which is very significant, right? So then this cost challenge, this degradation, the battery charging time overall, right? This makes it to say that, boss, battery is the most risky component.
Correct.
Okay? And that is where then the adoption of the electric vehicle was challenging, or is still challenging to the extent, but then that's where then the BAS came into the picture, that okay, that unknown and the most risky or the complex component, I'll take it from your responsibility. Okay. So you just own the vehicle and use this battery as you drive or as you use it.
Okay.
And that's where then the model of the battery as a service came into the picture, and then that is very successful in the two-wheeler. As I said, Gogoro is an example. In Taiwan, everybody uses the Gogoro swappable stations, where you just go, you don't have to wait for the charging, you just pull out a battery from the two-wheeler, put it in the swapping station, take the one full charge and put it, and then start.
It's 2 minutes max.
Yeah. Easy game, right? The two-wheeler. Now same thing happening is now in the different format is battery as a service from the four-wheeler, and the recent example is MG Windsor.
Okay.
So what they have done is they have totally reduced the upfront cost of the vehicle by significant. So they are saying battery, you don't own the battery now, because you see it's a challenge in terms of battery life or the risk issues are around and so on. So now you just use the battery as a service, where you just need to give me the based on your kilometer, you just need to pay me for the usage. Okay. And then your vehicle cost, let's say it was 15 lakh, now it has gone below 10 lakh.
Amazing. Okay.
So that Windsor is becoming one of the successful example of the battery as a service.
So it's good to know, because these are the different things that is keeping customers from not to use. So if this kind of offerings are there, where I also see that if battery dies, I am almost paying the entire amount that I have saved on fuel again. So if this is what is offered by the companies, it would be really great to have battery vehicles also. So there is also an upcoming trend of personalized vehicles and connected vehicles. So do you want to throw some light on that? What personalized vehicle actually means? Because it's still a dream for at least to see what it is. Connected. So how it is going to change our lives actually?
Yeah, I think I would say that it's already particularly the connected and the personalized is one of the biggest trend which I see India has been aggressively adopting it. We as Indians, we always want something customized, personalized for me, right? When I sit in the car, I quickly want to have my own type of music, my own type of lighting around it, or based on my height, I would like to have the seats getting adjusted directly, right? This is all personalized thing. And the connected, when you say connected, is that you are connecting the vehicle to the internet. So it's just like mobile phone, right? If you have a mobile phone without the internet, what is the maximum you can do? It's just call and SMS. Text, right? That's all. But the moment you have an internet inside, you can do so many things. You can do the banking, you can do the shopping, you can do your health, many other things, right? Overall, there's a plethora of, and the same thing now is they've been talking about the vehicle will become a mobile on the four wheels. overall being
Mobile on the
connected.
4 wheels. Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
now you're connecting the vehicle to the internet. So, and then when you get in the inside, you would like to have the same mobile kind of a experience on your infotainment screen.
Okay.
Touch it. I want to go from one point to another point, and I don't want to now. Even many of the people now you are using Siri or other voice commands,
true.
right? Nowadays, rather than typing or rather than clicking, right?
Correct.
Overall, the same thing is in the car infotainment systems, where you need to have you want to say, hey, find Sunith office place and take me there.
Okay.
And then I can also see over the command on the way, I want to have pizza because I'll be hungry, and then find what is the best pizza place on the way and take me there and add this journey
points. Okay.
on my points, right? Or and also on the way his birthday is there, find some kind of a flower bouquet or cake shop for me, right?
Okay.
So I don't want to then find that manually and plan my journey based on the time. I will just instruct over the voice, and the system will, with using AI or Gen AI, it will help you to map out your journey easily.
Okay. Amazing. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just giving you this one simple example.
Okay.
But there are so many things evolving around it because the technologies are enabling it, and now what technologies is this voice models, the AI models at the back end, the 5G technologies, because earlier the network was a big challenge, but now you see that most of the technologies moving towards 5G, so my internet speed is very high. And then the last thing is the semiconductor, the processing power of the hardware, because the moment I am sending my voice, it need to quickly process that and make inference out of that or take a decision out of that, right? So if earlier that particular technology, the processing were going towards the cloud. So earlier the trend in terms of the processing was, there were CPUs, then we went to the GPUs. Now there are ASICs, like application specific ICs, or there are FPGAs, there's field programmable gate arrays. That kind of a technologies are there, which is, and I expect Sunith to start using it, and then for each of those services you will pay me per year.
Per year.
Okay. But then what is happening is, to make it that adaptable or to make you see the value, they are offering for 1, 2 or 3 years free. Okay. But the expectation is, after that free period, you need to renew and you need to start paying me. And that's where the challenge lies, is after that free period or initial period, the consumers in India are not renewing the contract or they are not paying it.
Okay.
So it's just like I always give an example, like there is a OEM have built a house for you. They're giving it free to stay there for 1, 2, 3 years, and then after that you need to start paying the rent. But the moment you
Ask for the rent.
OEM start asking for a rent, they say, boss, I am vacating it, I don't need it, I'm leaving. But the major challenge is, then that means that whatever the investment has gone to build that house, right, that is one, I am not getting that return. Second is, there is a certain cost are going, because there is still, I need to collect certain data either for my internal improvement purpose, or there is still certain data need to be maintained, or that car still need to be connected, okay, for certain legislation or my internal purpose. So there is still cost is going
Right.
overall.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So then that is the key challenge, where then they are trying to say that, oh, Yogesh, and then in India what has happened is, and very rapidly has happened, as one of the key decision factor is for initial decision making of the car purchase is between these two cars, which has got a more features. So that means then the cost have significantly increased, because in the race of giving more and more features and to attract the customers, they have put more and more investment in building more number of features. So some company would say, hey, I've got a 40 features, somebody may say it's 50, somebody may 60, 70 features, right? Or even now people talking about 100 features, either in the infotainment or on the mobile altogether. And these features, at the end of the day, the user is maximum using 5 to 10 features only.
Okay.
Overall.
Okay.
And that's where this whole connected ecosystem or connected investment has become a big challenge for OEMs in terms of getting the return overall. So, and that's where then I would say that we being in the, we means the Valtech Mobility, where I've been leading their business in India and Asia Pacific, where we see that we are not now just looking at the technology, because we have been delivering these connected technologies or connected mobility solutions from last 25 years globally. So we have that customer experience angle, we have that technology angle, but now the third bigger piece or another two bigger pieces which we are bringing onto the table for having this connected technologies to go sustainable way is the third piece we are bringing as a business model. Okay. And with the business model, the overall other connected ecosystem we are bringing to the OEM table now.
Okay.
So how it is, I'll explain that now. So what is happening is, as I said, OEM have invested to make that car connected and expecting the return on investment through the consumer paying it back, but he is not paying it now. Let's say Sunit expected that Sunit should pay me after that free period of let's say 2 years, and the third year you are saying, Yogesh, I am vacating it, I don't need your services, I'm not going to pay, right? But within these 2 years, and being your car is connected, I have a lot of data about your car. I have a lot of data about your, where you have been going, how, what you are purchasing, and so on and so on. Lot of data, right, about you. That means now that data is there with me now, right? So then how I can monetize this data to generate a revenue. So you are not paying me, but there is a data about you and your vehicle. So I can use that data to generate certain revenue by giving insightful value to third parties. And I'll give you one very typical example. Let's say now you're starting here to catch your flight from Mumbai, right? So then this in your vehicle, it knows your current location where you are, right? You said Mumbai airport, you're going there. It know your location and the route by which you're going to go. So now that data, and then let's say system knows that you like Starbucks coffee, for example, right? So then with these data points, on the way the Starbucks outlet will throw the offer just before 10 minutes saying that, hey Sunit, we love you, we have got 30% exclusive offer for you for this new 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐬 coffee, which is a new flavor and you must try. Do you want to accept? You want to come and accept or deny? The moment you say accept, it will navigate you there. You can do the pre-order with a voice. You can make the payment through the car. Okay. Now what has happened is, in this process is, you have spent probably whatever 400-500 rupees with the Starbucks
for
coffee, right? Or having something else as well. Now Starbucks has been able to generate a revenue of 500 rupees because the system have shared a data saying that, hey, Sunit, who loves coffee, is going to pass by, generate some revenue by selling your service or product, right?
Correct.
Right? So now my data has enabled Starbucks to generate that 500 rupees. So I should get certain revenue share out of that.
Correct.
Okay, and that is what the data is generating certain revenue, and that data monetization.
Okay.
So one of the return on investment is then happening on the connected is through that data monetization.
Okay.
And so one of the return on investment is then happening on the connected is through that data monetization. Business services now using this data. So they are going to say that, okay, my data is there, so how I can monetize this data? So how I can make now Zomato, Swiggy, okay, being connected to the vehicle and generate, or doctors connecting to the, and so they provide the other service providers to connect to the vehicle and generate a revenue.
Right.
Okay, and then getting the revenue share.
Okay.
So there's a lot of business models are evolving, and that's what we as Valtech Mobility, our mission statement is, we generate a revenue streams for our partners. Let's say, for example, Starbucks in this case is a partner, and also I'm generating the revenue for OEMs.
Okay. Collaboration.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, then beyond that technology, and then obviously I've put a technology, the back end, the front end, and the customer experience. So I will not like to throw something else kind of a service if you don't like it, because that's where you need to make sure that how you manage the customer experience. Otherwise, the way you say that certain apps are free, but they push so much of ads,
right,
and you kind of kill that customer experience.
Correct.
You don't want to use it, right? You will get. So that's where. So then but at the same time, you may come up with the thought process that, Yogesh, but then here
Data.
Yeah, so the data
privacy.
Yeah, the data privacy, right? You may quickly come to the question saying that, hey, Yogesh, that means you are capturing all my data and selling it to the people. I am scared.
True.
Right?
I was about to ask you this.
Yeah. So then that's where then there's the DPDP Act already now. The draft is already out, and then the government is going to implement it, and that is where that DPDP will protect the data privacy. But then within that also, then we have a certain ways ensuring that data privacy as well, or data protection also.
You comply with the law as well?
Compliant with the law also, and then you still manage it. So then there are different ways. So I will ensure that I get a consent from you, where I'll tell you, hey, Sunit, I'm taking this data to share with Starbucks, where Starbucks is going to offer you XYZ. Are you okay? The moment you say okay, then I'm kind of I'm complying the thing. I'm just giving you one simple example or simple one way. There are multiple ways of managing it, or I can just take that data and make it anonymized.
Okay.
And there are a lot of players who are still interested in that anonymized data overall, right? Then there is I'm not going into the DPDP as well. So then what we as Valtech Mobility is helping to get that return on that connected
got it.
investment is what? Through the data, ensuring the shaping up the different business model or data monetization use cases, then bringing the buyer also on the table, because the OEM don't want to deal with 10 different players, because there's a lot of hassle around managing the contracts and commercial models around it. So they want to bring the complete connected ecosystem onto the table. So we bring that, we ensure the DPDP or compliance management happens.
Great.
And obviously the technologies we have, and we also are a customer experience kind of a leader. So we also ensure that at the same time, while I'm driving the revenue, I don't want to kill that customer experience part for the customer, because and then otherwise that loyalty will not come. They'll say, boss, I'm not going to use this kind of a vehicle, because these guys are just pushing a lot of things on my way which I hate, and I don't want to, I'm never going to use this XYZ service or product or vehicle, right? Which you don't want to have.
Right. So great. So complying with the law and still making user experience effective is a challenge, but if you're solving it, it's amazing to know. So with this, how do you see intellectual property and patents and anything that shapes the businesses, or how it is important for the innovative companies?
Yeah, I think, and I think unlike I would say the overall space is getting too much competitive now, right? One is that. The second thing is the technologies are becoming more and more complex as well, and the technologies are becoming a global as well now, right?
True.
Overall. So in this context, and then the way we are talking about shaping up the business model or the use case, right? I'm just giving you the Starbucks as an example, right? But I can then say that, but somebody else may say that, hey Yogesh, you cannot generate a revenue through this kind of a Starbucks data use case because I have filed a patent, for example, right? I'm just
Giving an example.
giving an example. I don't know how legally it's applied, but then as a business model, if somebody has already patented or shared a certain intellectual property, right, then it will be very difficult for me to use the same avenue to generate certain revenue, right? So then that means if this is my idea, if this is my use case which I have come up with, okay, so before I implement it and start acting it, I need to ensure that I am kind of protecting it, this even idea or my IP, or even for the way I have staged the ecosystem for this use case, I need to file a patent, right? And then ensuring that I can use it. It's not about probably just I want to keep it to myself, but the other way is I would look at it is I don't want to be getting or registering, or somebody should not register me in utilizing it. Whereas my own
any infringements or any
legal complication where I won't be able to even use it, whereas it was my somebody baby which I have shaped up, right? So I think in today's world, these business models beyond the technology part are also very much important, where you need to protect yourself, at least protect yourself. If not protecting the computer, utilize it. I'm going beyond that, because there are some or other ways the business model can be tweaked, shaped up in a different way, but at least you don't want to
get any infringements or any legal issues.
So I would say it's very much important before you go into the market with something like this.
You should have a patent.
Exactly, very much. It's very much important, and that's where we've been talking that how there are a lot of automotive use cases where people like you are very much important, and I'm seeing your journey and being a mechanical engineer, the way you are understanding the topics and the way you've been helping the automotive ecosystem. So it's a great job. So I think I would definitely vouch this particular topic is very much important, and people like you are very much required for the industries now. In the automotive, the way the transformation are happening, it is very much important. And then now the best part is the Indian companies are going global. So they want to make sure that when you are going global, you have to protect yourself minimum.
True. And it has been an increased filing trend that we have also observed. A lot of companies are filing a lot of patents in not only battery, but as you mentioned, hydrogen. We were doing a little research earlier. We found somewhere around 15,000 patents on hydrogen. So people are really way ahead than the way you are thinking. So it's very difficult to cope up, and if you are moving ahead, you are the first person, so patent becomes priority, I guess. That's what I can say.
And then particularly when you know that your idea is going to make a much more scalable game, right? Where you know it's going to be mainstream. So you have to ensure that you start doing it from the beginning.
So as you are into a very challenging and fast growing industry, learning, keeping yourself updated, communication, hiring, do you think that other aspects of life take a back step, like family, your health, or various aspects? Do you think, how do you manage all these aspects very well?
I would say that I'm trying to manage it overall. I wouldn't say I'm 100% successful kind of making my wheel of life round wheel overall. And I learned this wheel of life concept, and I would like to probably share that with everyone, because this wheel of life is having where that lives, there are 5-6 spokes. Okay, one is your career spoke, which is you want to have a more longer spoke, the bigger the wheel. Your family, your finance, your income and finance, health, and then also your which is very much neglected in today's corporate world, is about your spiritual or ethical or value system spoke, right? And in the wheel of life, you need to ensure that all the spokes should have the same length or the diameters of, right? Then only your wheel become a more circular or round, right? Otherwise, if your one spoke is, let's say your health spoke is just smaller, okay, your spiritual spoke is 0, then this is not becoming a circular, right? And then, and this is a wheel of the life. If you want to make your life journey smoother on this wheel, okay, you need to make this wheel a more round, so then only your life will be smoother. The journey will be smoother. Otherwise, it will be like, if the one spoke is so you know, very I would say rough journey, right, overall, and that's where everybody should look at how you balance this wheel of the life. Okay. Or you need to ensure that how your aspirations are not just purely for a job. Your aspirations or your motivation should cover all these 5 spokes or aspects of your life.
So how do you do it?
So I think one of the thing is I set my certain aspirational goals. So you need to lead your aspirations now here, because that has to come based on your motivation or your aspiration, right? If you have I want to be healthy, I want to have an aspiration where I can run the marathon, right? Then you set out your goals, and then you set out your time for that. Right? So likewise, one has to set up the certain time for all, to take care of all these aspects of the family, health, spiritual, your finance. So it's not just earning, you need to also see that how you manage your wealth also, right? So how to convert that income into a wealth, right? So finance aspect, and then obviously the career, which everybody has to do for
by default. They are focusing,
right? But then that is not only the aspect, is what I was trying to get.
Correct.
People, that the maximum they say the health or family, but then the spiritual as well as making the wealth is another really the aspect which will only make your wheel a more round and your more journey smoother for the life
or enjoyable life.
Yes, it's pretty much you need it. So yeah, setting that time out and following that rigorously to ensure that all the lengths are same of your spoke of the wheel of the life.
That's a great insight, actually, the way you explained wheel of life. And specifically, it's true, having an income, but if you're not able to manage finances, it's not good. Having an income, not giving time to your family, again, it's a problem. And again, spiritually is additional aspect, I can say, which may be new, or maybe now I have seen a lot of people now inclined towards spiritualism. A lot of people are into meditation, but if they are not, it's also one of the important aspect, I can say. That's great.
So that is more important in today's stressful life situation, right? Otherwise, we have seen so many, probably they are healthy, they are wealthy, they are having a great career, they have great family also, but then we see sudden, because of X, Y, Z situation, and this mostly the stress situations where they get a heart attack and then we lose the life, right? So we face a lot of issues on all other aspects.
Right.
So you need to have that peace thing through the meditation or through the spirituality, you get that cool, calm thing of your own.
Right.
So and one of the thing is one has to do is slot the calendar with that activity. So unless you slot your calendar or book the calendar with that activity, although it could be weekend, it could be evening, whatever beyond your work hours, you need to slot that time. At least then that reminder will pop up to you, and then you'll do something around it, because nowadays people follow the calendars a lot.
It's a new trend now.
Yeah, so that I will say the slot that calendar, and so that putting the wheel of life to work, you need to put that in the calendar also.
Task as a task. That's good actually. That's a simple way of you to remind that this is what is due.
Yeah,
Yes, that's good. So many things that I have also learned from you, and I hope the audience will also like your video, and you'll also learn a lot of things from him. You just go through the entire video, and a lot of inputs are there, not only for innovation, but also for your personal journey, family, finances, and career, attitude, the way you want to approach life, and some key mantras for your growth and success. So with this, I would really like to thank you for giving your time, your precious time, and accepting my invitation and coming on this podcast. And thank you very much.
it's my pleasure, and it's been really fantastic to share, and thank you very much, Sumit, for hosting me here. I look forward to sharing, and caring is my principle, so I look forward to share and care more.
Yeah, and in future we'd like to do more podcasts to understand each technology in depth, if at all it's possible.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Happy. It also keeps me motivating to add more value, right?
Yeah.
To myself.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
So don't forget to share this video to the people who are into automotive industry, where they will get a lot of inputs which will help them in their career. And if you have liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel Built on Brains, and we'll keep on bringing a lot of inspirational people to our channel, and keep watching.